I'm Elaine Penhaul, founder of Lemon and Lime. We specialise in getting properties ready for sale so that all of our clients can achieve the highest possible offer for their home in the shortest possible time. There are a series of questions that I get asked very frequently, and we've decided to put together some short video clips to help answer those. I'm sure you'll have more questions when you've watched these. Please feel free to get in touch either by phone or by email.
Elaine, you've written a best-selling book, Sell High, Sell Fast, which is full of hints and tips for sellers to be able to get the best price for their property and get it staged and looking really good. What would be your top tips for anybody looking at putting their house on the market?
That's a really good question, Martyn, because I think that if you were to Google top tips for getting your house ready to market, you would find things like declutter, make sure that the walls are painted neutral, probably things like make sure everything's really clean, get the window cleaner in, and so on and so forth. And in the book, I've tried to go beyond that. And starting at page 32, I've outlined our 7-step system for getting a home ready for market, for really preparing properly for market. So the 7-step system is defined by the acronym ADDRESS. And just to go through very quickly on those, the A stands for assess. So in other words, talk to your estate agent and assess who your target buyer is going to be, because it's the target buyer you're getting the presentation ready to appeal to. And also, at the same time, you're assessing the current standard of the presentation in your house. Now, it might be quite a good thing to get a friend round, somebody you trust, somebody that's not going to be horrible, but somebody who is going to be honest with you. And that's also where professional staging companies like us come in. We always do free initial consultations just to give somebody an overview of the work that might help the house to sell. The first D is about decluttering. So going through and making sure that the house is not a blank canvas. It doesn't need to be completely depersonalized, but to get rid of things that just a kind of excess baggage, if you like, where you've got loads of the ornaments that the kids brought back from the beach, when you've been on holiday over the last 20 years. The balance is tricky in the declutter, depersonalize thing. And that's, again, where professional help is useful. The second is about decorating. So colour is very in at the moment. We don't need to get rid of colour completely, but the paint has to be in good state of repair. So it has to be touched up. If it's been scuffed, which is inevitable in a family house over the years, things get scuffed, particularly skirting boards, doors are a classic. And just walls up and down stairs where people walk, kids drag their hands maybe, or somebody puts their hand to balance themselves as they go up the stairs. Neutral colours, I'm a bit cautious about neutral colours. Everybody says, oh, just paint it neutral. Neutrals are not all the same. Let me give you an example. We were called in some years ago to a property that the owners had relocated to Canada. They'd left the house empty, but before they'd gone, they'd painted it a very fashionable grey. Super fashionable, quite light, quite neutral, should have been the perfect colour, theoretically. But the house faced north. And so the light coming into the main rooms was a north light, which is not a strong light in a Northern Hemisphere house. It's a very subtle light. And the north light combined with the grey walls made the house really, really depressing. And we went in and repainted the whole house in a much warmer neutral. So something that had cream undertones as opposed to grey undertones, but not a creamy paint, but something that was a much warmer neutral, and popped some furniture in. And the estate agent phoned me a few days later and she said, Elaine, I might as well have moved in. She said, I've had so many viewings on this house and now I've got an offer on it. But she said, I might as well just have moved in to live in it myself since you painted it, because it has been such a popular house to come and view. And that was just about having the wrong neutral. So painting neutral, again, get some help, get some advice on it. The R stands for reimagine. We all live in our homes in the way that it suits us, in the way that the spaces work for us. And as a family grows and changes, if we've been in a home for a long time, that the use of the rooms might become a bit bizarre. So it may be that we did we saw a house a little while ago where the dining room had been changed into a games room. So they didn't use, as a family, they didn't use the dining room. So they put a big pool table in what should have been the dining room. And the walls were also painted bizarrely. It was a bit like an old pub, you used to get 16 colours on the walls, 19 walls, and that like that. So it was very pubby, and the family were in there, and they used it almost like a bar feel in the evening, and it was great for them. It worked perfectly for them. But for a viewer, they were going, "Oh, what's that room supposed to be?" And it really looked horrible on photos. So again, we scooted out the pool table, painted it, and put in a nice dining table and chairs. And suddenly, dramatically, that room became the dining room. We see rooms that are the dog room or the ironing room or the hobby room. If it's meant to be a bedroom, make it into a bedroom. Don't use it as a storeroom. So those are really important. The E then is about emphasizing the lifestyle that people are going to have. So if you've got a little nook and cranny, that you would perhaps put a lamp and a nice armchair and a tiny little table for a book, then we would put on a book. We might put on a pair of reading glasses, for example. We might even go as far as putting a glass of wine on, ready for the photos. So you're staging it and really selling that. Oh, look, I could sit there in the evening with my glass of wine, just read a book quietly. All kids have gone to bed. That's my downtime. So emphasize the lifestyle that the property offers. Then staging, the first S is about staging. It's about bringing in things where there are gaps. For example, it's about styling ready for the photos to be taken. And then the last S is about selling, and that means get the right team around you. So whether that's staging professional photographer, the right estate agent, the right conveyancing team as well. So getting that right team around you so that you're really geared up to do what it says on the tin. Sell high, sell fast. Hope you found that helpful. If you'd like some more information, please feel free to get in touch. Follow us on our social media channels, pick up the phone, or pop me an email.